Good morning, doctors. And that is the point. We are doctors. I've been thinking about this for a while because what is it about being a doctor that's important? What makes it what it is? Well, we're not supposed to just make our money and leave. We're supposed to charge a great fee for doing a great, outstanding job at our compassionate care, using wisdom, using knowledge, But what is the underpinning of all that? I think the underpinning is probably related best to our awareness or understanding of the preciousness of health, which is life, for ourselves, for our families, and then being able to transmit or share that with our patients. That, I think, is our underpinning. Now, I have had more than 40 years on the front lines of watching medicine, watching health care, watching the care of patients from what it was then to what it is today. It started out in nursing, critical care nursing, and has evolved through my life in dentistry and orthodontics, but yet watching with passion at what's going on in medicine. And today it is somewhat distressing to me. I've been thinking about this, like I said, for a while. And it's kind of distressing for me to think of the fact that it feels to me like we have entered into an era, as others have said, of medical tyranny. That's a pretty strong sentence. And in fact, using those two words in one sentence is pretty amazing. But indeed, I really think that we need to think about this. It's starting to crystallize in my mind. It's starting to come to a point that I realize, wait a minute. We are workers in light, in love. We are light workers. Let's use that term. We must think about that. If not us, then who? That's the thing. So I bring this to you today and say, how has this come to be that we are using those two words, let's say medical, medicine, and tyranny, or anything like that that's so negative, in the same thought? How has it come to, I ask you, fixing everything with prescriptions that have led to addictions, that have led to patients walking into your office and other doctors' offices and saying, I need this medication? How has it come to the medical profession, all of us as doctors, bowing to big pharma? Think about it. A child receiving 168 different vaccines by the time they're 18, is that necessary? Is it good? Are we thinking about what's best for the patients? How has it come to giving patients treatment plans without findings? You need an implant. You need a filling. You need ortho. Do we know what the benefit versus anything negative will be for them? Have we looked at not only the findings, but the patient, the person, that whole person? Have we looked at the fact that they are a whole person? How have we lost the holistic view and approach to this entire organism, this human body with a soul, with a spirit, with a heart? How have we lost that? Where has that gone? And I know that people used to say, oh, holistic, that's hippie stuff. I'm talking about holistic whole. I'm talking about seeing the heart, the spirit, the soul in that organism that gives off energy, creates energy, takes in energy, becomes. How have we lost the belief in the patient's ability to heal, the patient's ability to be healthy? Well, back to us as light workers. It's so important every single day to consider this. So I'm going to ask you, as I ask myself, what drives you? What we're going to do is put a series of videos together, this being number 1, on We Are Doctors. And let's look at that. Let's look at some of these questions. Let's look at some of the things that may be complicit in the transformation from compassion and love to where we are today, which doesn't necessarily put that first, does it? Think about that. let's look at, in our work on this, we're going to look at a series of things. Let's look at, I wrote down some things for us, evidence-based. Let's look at that. Let's look at the science. Let's look at research, which gives us the science. Let's look at vaccines, as mentioned. Let's look at taking away from the patient the responsibility for their own health and well-being. Actually, let's look at taking away from the patient the responsibility for their disease and allowing them to put it on others, including us. Have we done that? If so, how have we done that? How can we give it back to them? When we think of meeting and caring for each patient and their family, I think I'm going to propose to you to think about, is there any other guiding light besides love, compassion, caring? Is there anything but our heart that should be leading? So here we are. We're going to do this series. This is part 1. Remember, we are doctors, and now you have some questions to ponder, and I will give you more questions about these questions, because I think if each of us come to a place that we can have discourse and understanding of what we believe, I think we as doctors can be the greatest doctors. I'll see you soon in part 2.